All right, so you're prepping for a demolition supervisor interview.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
that's a big step.
We've got a ton of RoleCatcher resources to help you uh, really knock this out of the park.
Totally.
Think of this deep dive as like your prep rally before the big game.
Yeah, like your pregame warm-up.
Yeah, exactly.
Get you ready to go.
Well, we'll tackle some of those tough interview questions head on.
That's right. We're not just going to give you like generic answers or anything. We're
Yeah.
going deep
We're going deep on strategy.
into the strategy behind it,
Yeah.
crafting good responses that'll help you showcase what you can bring to the table.
It's like we're giving you a backstage pass
Exactly.
to the interviewer's mind.
Yep.
Let's start with a question that I think often trips people up.
Okay.
What inspired you to pursue a career as a demolition supervisor?
Right.
I think this one is all about showcasing your passion,
For sure.
showing that you've actually thought about this
Yeah.
career path.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not just, it seemed interesting.
It seemed interesting. Yeah, that's not going to cut it.
Yeah, interesting is not going to make you stand out.
Yeah.
So what would be a better approach?
Well, think about like what specifically drew you to this field.
Okay.
Was it the challenge of taking down these structures safely? Like problem solving?
Right.
The engineering of it all? And this controlled destruction?
Ooh, I like that, controlled destruction.
Right.
That sounds very artistic.
Exactly. And that's what you want to convey, like
Yeah.
a real enthusiasm for the work that you do.
And
Genuine passion. Yeah.
And this is where I think RoleCatcher's AI can be really helpful
For sure.
because it can actually analyze the job description
Yep.
and suggest keywords or phrases
Mhm.
that'll resonate with the employer.
Yeah, and you can weave those into your responses.
So it's like having a personal tailor
Exactly.
for your interview answers.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Mhm.
So let's move on to another question that's very common. How do you ensure safety on a demolition site?
Yes, this one's super important.
This one's crucial.
The interviewer wants to know that you're a safety champion.
Right. You're not just someone who like knows the basics.
Exactly.
This isn't just about hard hats and safety goggles.
Right.
So what kind of depth are we talking about here?
You're going to want to go beyond just PPE and basic training.
Okay.
Think about OSHA regulations, specific safety protocols for different types of demolition,
Yeah.
hazard identification, and things like that. Mitigation strategies.
What exactly are hazard identification and mitigation strategies?
Right.
Is that something everyone in demolition knows?
It's the process of actively identifying potential hazards
Okay.
on a site.
Mm-hmm.
Things like unstable structures,
Yeah.
asbestos underground utilities,
Okay.
and then taking specific steps to reduce those risks.
So being proactive, not reactive.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do you bring that to life
Mhm.
in an interview?
Talk about a time that you identified a potential hazard
Okay.
and the steps you took to ensure everyone stayed safe.
Okay.
Maybe you had to modify the demolition plan or bring in special equipment or even stop work until the risk was addressed.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like showing them you've got that safety radar
Yeah.
always switched on.
Always on.
And speaking of being switched on,
Okay.
let's talk about leadership.
All right.
How do you manage and motivate your team
Yes.
on a demolition project?
Big one.
This is a question I think you're bound to encounter.
Absolutely.
Demolition is a team effort,
It is.
and they want to know you can lead effectively.
Especially in those high pressure situations.
So it's not just about barking orders.
No,
Right?
it's about creating that culture of safety,
Mhm.
clear communication, mutual respect.
Yeah.
Think about your management style.
Okay.
Do you empower your team? How do you handle conflict resolution?
Okay.
Things like that.
And how does RoleCatcher's AI fit into all of this?
It can actually analyze your work history
Wow.
and highlight situations where you've shown strong leadership qualities.
Okay.
Maybe you successfully led a complex project, resolved a conflict between team members,
Right.
or mentored a less experienced colleague.
So it's like having a personal hype man.
Yes.
Reminding you of all the awesome things you've done.
I like that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep this momentum going
Okay.
with another question.
All right.
How would you handle a situation where a team member wasn't following safety protocols?
Ooh, that's a good one.
This one is designed to assess
Yeah.
your commitment to safety
Mm-hmm.
and your ability to enforce rules,
For sure.
even when it's uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No one wants to be the bad guy.
Right.
but safety has to come first.
Yeah, safety is paramount.
So what's the best approach here?
It's about showing a zero-tolerance policy for safety violations
Okay.
while still maintaining that respectful and constructive approach. So you could outline the steps you would take,
Oh, okay.
starting with a direct conversation with that individual, emphasizing how serious the violation is.
And what if that doesn't work?
Then you have to escalate it.
Okay.
Maybe involve a site safety manager,
Right.
or even halt work until it's addressed.
So it's about having a clear escalation path
Yeah,
and showing you're not afraid to take decisive action.
exactly.
Now, before we move on to the next question,
Okay.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
How does RoleCatcher's AI actually analyze work history?
Right.
It sounds almost magical.
Well, it uses advanced algorithms
Okay.
to scan your resume
Right.
and other materials,
Okay.
identifying keywords and phrases that align with specific skills and experience.
So it's like having a superpowered research assistant
Yeah.
sifting through all this information.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Highlighting the most important bits.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right, let's dive into another leadership-focused question. Describe your experience with delegating tasks and managing workloads on a demolition project.
Right.
So here they want to see
Yeah.
that you understand the importance of delegation.
Absolutely.
You're not just doing everything yourself.
Right, it's not a one-man show.
Right.
You got to leverage your team.
It's about maximizing efficiency
Exactly.
and making sure everyone is working at their highest potential.
to their full potential, for sure.
Right. A good leader knows how to leverage the strengths
Yeah.
of their team.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some key points to hit when answering this question?
Well, think about a time you successfully delegated tasks on a project.
Okay.
How did you assess individual skills
Right.
and assign responsibilities accordingly?
Okay.
What systems did you use to track progress and ensure accountability?
And I imagine highlighting any positive outcomes
Yeah,
from that delegation is important, right?
absolutely.
Like, did the project finish on time?
Yeah.
Or even ahead of schedule? Did you receive positive feedback
Exactly.
from the team or client?
All good things to highlight.
It's all about showcasing your ability to delegate
Sure.
effectively and drive results.
Yeah.
Now, let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about project management.
Right.
A common question in this area is, how do you ensure a demolition project is completed on time and within budget?
Yes, this is all about,
This one's a biggie.
showing your business acumen,
Wow.
your ability to manage these complex projects.
Like, you understand the big picture,
Right.
not just the demolition itself.
It's more than just swinging a hammer,
So it's about seeing the project from a holistic perspective.
for sure.
So what are some key things to consider
Yeah.
when crafting a response?
First, think about specific project management methodologies
Okay.
you've used in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Have you worked with, critical path method,
Okay.
lean construction, agile principles?
I'm going to need a quick breakdown of those
Okay, sure.
because I'm not sure everyone knows what those terms mean.
Right. So critical path method focuses on identifying the most critical tasks
Okay.
in a project and making sure those stay on track.
Okay.
Lean construction is all about minimizing waste
Mm,
and maximizing efficiency.
right.
And agile is an iterative approach
Oh.
that allows for flexibility
Got it.
and adjustments as you go.
So it's about choosing the right methodology
For sure.
for the specific project
Yep.
and demonstrating your understanding of how it works.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
What else? Well, you're going to want to talk about your experience with project planning, budgeting, resource allocation.
Right.
Have you used project management software? What strategies do you use for cost control and risk management?
So it's about showcasing your practical experience
Yeah,
and the tools you use to keep projects running smoothly.
for sure.
And how can RoleCatcher's AI help with this?
It can actually suggest relevant project management skills
Wow.
and methodologies based on the specific job description.
So it's tailoring it
Yeah.
to that specific job.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it can also analyze your work history and highlight projects where you've delivered on time and within budget.
So it's like having a personal project management consultant
Exactly.
in your pocket.
Right in your pocket.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I like that.
Now let's tackle another common question.
You okay?
Have you ever encountered a situation where a demolition project went over budget or behind schedule?
Oh,
How did you handle it?
that's a tough one.
This is the behavioral question
Yeah,
that's designed to assess your problem-solving skills
for sure.
and your ability to handle difficult situations.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see how you react under pressure.
Yeah. How do you think on your feet?
Okay, I can see how this one might make someone sweat a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the key to answering this effectively?
Honesty and a clear action plan.
Okay.
Don't try to sugarcoat it or avoid the question.
Mm-hmm.
Just briefly describe the situation, focusing on the factors that led to the overrun.
Okay.
Then outline the specific steps you took to get the project back on track.
So it's about owning the situation.
For sure.
Taking responsibility.
Yep.
And showing your ability to find solutions.
Absolutely.
It's about turning a negative into a positive.
Yeah.
By showcasing your problem-solving skills and your commitment to delivering results.
Exactly.
This is all great stuff.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground already.
We have.
From passion and safety to leadership and project management.
And we're just getting started.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
That's right. We've got more interview questions to unpack and more insights to share.
Stick with us as we dive even deeper into the world of demolition interview prep.
Okay, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the environmental side of demolition.
Okay.
This is something you can't really overlook
Right.
in this role.
Yeah.
A common question that you might get is, how do you ensure that environmental regulations are followed on a demolition site?
It's not just about bringing the buildings down.
No.
It's about doing it responsibly.
It is definitely about doing it responsibly. Yeah.
So how do we go beyond just saying, we follow all the rules?
Yeah, we follow the rules. That's
Well,
not going to cut it.
Yeah.
You got to be specific.
Right.
Mention specific regulations
Right.
like EPA, OSHA.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about your knowledge of hazardous materials,
Okay.
like asbestos-lead paint
Right.
procedures for safe removal and disposal.
That's like you've got the checklist
Yeah.
memorized.
Absolutely
Oh,
to
yeah,
go. Yeah, and if you can mention specific projects where you successfully navigated these regulations even better.
It's all about walking the walk,
Yeah,
not just talking the talk.
exactly.
So how does RoleCatcher's AI come into play
Right.
with these environmental questions?
Well, RoleCatcher can actually look for any gaps in your experience or
Okay.
knowledge based on what the job needs. So let's say they really need someone with asbestos abatement,
Okay.
but you haven't worked with that specifically.
Right.
The AI will flag that as an area you might want to brush up on.
So it's like a personalized study guide,
Exactly.
highlighting the most important things to focus on.
Yep.
Okay, let's tackle a question that I think can be a bit tricky.
All right.
Describe a time you had to deal with an unexpected problem on a demolition site.
Okay.
How did you solve it?
Ooh, the classic problem-solving question.
Yes, the problem-solving question.
Yeah.
They're looking for critical thinking,
Mm-hmm.
adaptability,
For sure.
and the ability to stay calm under pressure.
Yeah, because in demolition,
Because things
things don't always go to plan.
rarely go to plan.
Rarely, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the best way to approach this one?
Well, I think you start by setting the scene.
Okay.
Briefly describe the project and the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was a hidden utility line or a weather change.
Right.
Or a piece of equipment malfunctioned. Something like that.
Yeah.
And then you walk them through how you thought it through.
It's like the spotlight is on you.
Yeah.
Exactly. How did you assess the situation?
Okay.
What options did you have? What steps did you take to solve it?
And highlight the positive outcome.
Yes. Always end on a positive note.
You turned that potential disaster into a success story.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of success, let's talk about a question
Okay.
that often comes up towards the end of an interview.
Right.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Ooh, the classic 5-year question.
Yes, this one can throw people off.
Yeah, it can.
But it's a chance to show your ambition
For sure.
and your commitment to the field.
It shows you're thinking long term.
So how do we answer it
Yeah.
without sounding cheesy or unrealistic?
Focus on your professional goals
Okay.
and how they fit with the company's goals.
Okay.
Maybe you're interested in specializing in a certain type of demolition.
Taking on more leadership or pursuing certifications.
It's about showing them you're not just looking for a job.
Right.
You're looking to build a career.
Exactly. You're invested.
Right.
You're not just there for a paycheck. You want to grow with them.
And this is where I think those career stages
Yeah.
from RoleCatcher's Guide come in handy.
Absolutely.
They outline that typical progression in a demolition career,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is helpful.
Yeah, it gives you a path.
Yeah, like you thought about your future
Yeah,
in this industry.
for sure.
Now, before we move on to the next question,
Okay.
I wanted to circle back to something you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher's AI identifying gaps in experience.
Right.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. So let's say the job description says you need experience with explosives,
Okay.
but you've mainly done mechanical demolition.
Oh.
RoleCatcher will see that
Mm-hmm.
and recommend ways to fill that gap.
So it might recommend like training courses or
Yeah.
certifications.
Exactly. Or it might suggest projects you could talk about. Okay.
That show you have transferable skills.
So it's like having a personal career coach,
Yeah, it's like having someone in your corner.
guiding you toward those skills and experiences that you need to reach your goals.
Exactly.
Okay, let's dive into another tricky question.
Right.
How do you handle conflicts or disagreements on a demolition site?
Ooh, conflict resolution.
Yes, conflict resolution.
Very important.
It's crucial for any leader,
It is.
especially in demolition.
Absolutely, especially when you're working on tight deadlines and there are safety concerns everywhere.
Because disagreements are bound to happen.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So how do we show them that we're master mediators?
Well, you want to emphasize your communication skills,
Okay.
your ability to stay calm and professional,
Mm.
and focus on finding solutions that work for everyone.
So walk me through a hypothetical scenario.
Okay.
Let's say there is a disagreement between a team member
Okay.
and a subcontractor
Right.
about the best way to approach a certain task.
Mm-hmm.
How would you handle that? First, I would gather all the information,
Okay.
listen to both sides, try to understand their perspectives and what the root of the problem is,
Okay.
and then I'd facilitate a discussion,
Right.
encourage open communication, and focus on finding some common ground.
You're the neutral party.
Exactly.
You're not taking sides.
Not taking sides, just trying to mediate.
Right.
Yep.
And the ultimate goal is to find a solution
Of course.
that puts safety first,
Always.
efficiency,
Mm-hmm.
and the overall success of the project.
Exactly.
It's about turning that conflict
Yep.
into a collaborative problem-solving opportunity.
For sure.
So let's talk about a question
Okay.
that can be a little bit tough.
All right.
Tell me about a time you made a mistake on a demolition project. What did you learn from it?
The mistake question.
This is another behavioral question
Yeah.
designed to assess your self-awareness,
For sure.
your honesty,
Mm-hmm.
and your ability to learn.
Yep. Got to learn from your mistakes.
Nobody's perfect. Absolutely not.
Mistakes happen,
They do.
but it's what you do
Right.
after the mistake.
It's all about what you do after.
That matters.
Yeah. How do you bounce back?
So when answering this question, be honest,
Yeah.
straightforward.
Yep.
Describe the mistake briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on the factors that led to it
Yep.
and the lessons you learned.
And what you did differently next time.
You're turning it into a learning experience. You're not
Exact-
just dwelling on the negative.
Until you get to spin it.
Right.
Yeah.
Highlight the steps you took to correct the mistake
Mm-hmm.
to prevent it from happening again.
Yeah. Did you implement new procedures?
Yay.
Seek out additional training.
Share your insights. Show them that you're always looking to improve.
That growth mindset is so important.
It's all about showing them your growth mindset.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up this section,
Okay.
I want to touch on something we haven't talked about.
All right.
Salary expectations.
Yes. The salary question.
How do we handle...
Everyone's favorite. The dreaded, what are your salary expectations?
Yeah, it can be a little bit awkward.
It could be tricky,
Yeah,
but it's important to be prepared.
absolutely.
So do your research
Yeah.
before the interview.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the average salary
Yeah.
for demolition supervisors in your area.
You can use RoleCatcher for that.
You can use RoleCatcher.
Or websites like Glassdoor, Indeed.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So know your worth.
Yes. Know your worth.
Have a realistic expectation
Yeah.
of what you should be earning
Mm-hmm.
when answering this question. Be confident and clear.
For sure.
You can say something like,
Yeah.
based on my experience and the market rate, I'm looking for a salary in this range.
Exactly.
And it's okay to negotiate
It is.
if their offer falls below your expectations.
You can always negotiate.
Right.
Don't be afraid to.
You highlight your skills and your
Yes,
experience,
sure.
the unique qualifications you bring to the table.
Yeah, you're valuable.
It's all about knowing your worth
Mm-hmm.
and advocating for yourself.
Yes. Advocate for yourself.
We've covered a wide range of questions so far,
We have.
from safety and leadership
Mm-hmm.
to problem solving and salary,
I've done a lot.
and we still have more to cover.
We've got more.
Stick with us as we delve into even more insightful tips and strategies to help you ace that demolition supervisor interview.
All right, let's dive into a question that really tests your technical knowledge.
Okay.
Describe your experience with different types of demolition methods.
Okay, so this is where you really get to show off what you know
Yeah, this is where you shine.
and demonstrate you understand those tools and techniques.
It's all about the tools of the trade.
Right.
Think about the different methods you've used.
Okay.
Mechanical demolition with excavators, wrecking balls,
Mm-hmm.
explosive demolition implosion.
Whoa, implosion.
Yeah.
That's where the building, like, collapses in on itself.
It's pretty cool.
Talk about a dramatic exit.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you answer this question,
Yeah.
highlight your experience with each method, the types of projects they're best for.
Yep.
And any safety stuff involved.
Absolutely safety first.
Right.
Always.
It's about showing them you're not just a one-trick pony.
No, you've got a whole arsenal.
You've got the whole toolbox
The whole toolbox.
of demolition skills.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about a question that's designed to assess your knowledge of building codes and regulations.
Bring on the regulations.
How do you ensure that a demolition project complies with all relevant building codes and regulations?
Okay, so this one's all about the details.
It's about doing it by the book.
Following the rules.
Right.
Making sure everything is above board.
Yeah, you're not just bringing the building down.
Right.
You're doing it the right way.
You got to do it legally and safely.
So start by talking about your process for reviewing and understanding those codes.
Yeah, you got to know the rules of the game.
Right.
Each project might have different ones.
Okay.
So you got to do your research.
Do your homework.
Exactly.
Be up to speed.
Yep. And if you use any software or tools
Okay.
to help manage that compliance, talk about those too.
Yep.
And any experience you have with getting permits and working with inspectors.
That's all about showing them.
Yeah.
You take compliance seriously.
Absolutely. It's not something to mess around with.
All right, let's move on to a question
Okay.
that can really reveal your leadership style and your ability to handle some tricky situations.
Okay, I'm ready.
Describe a time you had to motivate your team to complete a difficult demolition project under a tight deadline.
Ooh, the pressure is on.
So this question lets you showcase your ability to inspire and lead a team through those tough times.
It's all about staying positive and getting it done.
Highlighting your communication skills
Yes.
and creating that productive work environment.
Yeah, got to keep the morale up.
Because demolition work,
Yeah,
it can be tough,
it can be. It's demanding.
demanding, and even dangerous at times.
Absolutely. Safety is always top of mind.
So when answering this question, focus on a specific project
Okay.
where you face some challenges.
All right.
Maybe it was a complex demolition, tight deadline, bad weather.
Yeah, all of some things.
And tell them how you rallied the troops.
Yes.
Led your team to victory.
Love it.
Describe those strategies you used to motivate your team.
Okay.
The ways you communicated, the steps you took to keep everyone safe.
It's all connected.
It's about showing them you're the kind of leader
Yeah.
who can inspire, motivate,
Yeah.
and guide a team through those challenges.
Through thick and thin.
All right, now let's talk about a question that comes up often at the end of an interview.
Okay, hit me.
Do you have any questions for us?
Ah, yes. The classic role reversal.
This is your chance to turn the tables
It is.
and show those interviewers that you are engaged, curious,
Yeah.
truly interested in the role and the company.
Show them you've been paying attention.
So it's not just about saying, no, I think you've covered it all.
No, you got to come prepared with some good questions.
What are some good questions to ask?
You could ask about the company culture,
Okay.
their approach to safety and sustainability, maybe their plans for the future, opportunities for professional development.
You're showing them you're thinking long term.
Yeah, you're not just looking for a job.
You want to build a career
Exactly.
with their organization.
That's right.
All right, before we wrap up, I wanted to touch on one last thing.
Okay.
The importance of practicing your answers.
Oh, yeah. Practice is key.
Practice makes perfect.
Oh, maybe not perfect,
Or at least it gets you close.
but definitely better.
By practicing out loud, you'll be more confident,
Absolutely.
comfortable during the interview.
Yeah, take the edge off.
And this is where I think RoleCatcher's AI can really shine.
It can, for sure.
That AI mock interview feature
Yeah.
lets you practice answering those common questions in a safe space.
In a simulated environment. Yeah, it's like a dress rehearsal.
And the AI even provides feedback.
It does.
Helps you identify those areas to work on.
Like having a personal coach.
It's like having a personal interview coach,
Right in your pocket.
giving you that personalized feedback and guidance.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into demolition interview prep, remember, preparation is key.
Yeah. Do your homework.
Familiarize yourself with those common questions.
Practice, practice, practice.
Practice your responses.
Yep.
Leverage the power of RoleCatcher's AI.
Absolutely. It's your secret weapon.
And you'll be well on your way to landing that dream job.
Good luck out there.
And remember, demolition's about more than just tearing things down.
It is.
It's about safety, leadership, problem solving,
Yeah.
and environmental responsibility.
It's the whole package.
By showcasing all of that in your interview,
Yeah.
you'll demonstrate that you're not just a demolition expert.
Right.
You're a valuable asset
You're an asset.
to any team.
That's right.